Good evening. Welcome to Expat Insights. I'm your host Raju Mandhyan. Here at Expat Insights, we take external views of internal successes by foreigners, expats, or immigrants who have made Philippines their home. We give an expression and an exposure to all the good that they do in this country, whether they do it in business or in society. We bring them to Expat Insights and find out how they are succeeding here in the Philippines. Tonight, we have a very special guest from a very beautiful country called Switzerland, the home of watches, money, chocolate, and winter sports, Switzerland. And this lady here has lived here for nearly 30 years and is doing a lot of good. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest for today, Miss Marguerite Gloor of the Circle of Friends, President of Circle of Friends. So, good evening, Margaret.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So, welcome to Expat Insights,
Thank you.
This is a place for you to tell us what good you do for this country.
Thank you.
So, tell me about yourself. What brought you to the Philippines 30 years ago?
It's my husband and his work that brought me here. I left Switzerland more than 30 years ago, and wherever I am, I really like to make it my home, and I like to do the best I can for the country. And so 30 years is a long time, but for some things you need time so that it can develop. And I'm very proud to say that at the end of 30 years now, I have a gallery, a Coffi Gallery, a gallery that supports people with disabilities. That's basically...
Let's go to the gallery later. Tell me what brought you originally to the Philippines. Your husband brought you here?
My husband's business.
What
yes.
did you like about Philippines when you came here?
Well, we used to live in Hong Kong, so we have come to the Philippines and saw that it's a beautiful country, beautiful beaches, lovely people.
How does it differ from Switzerland, your home?
Well, it obviously differs because of the climate.
Okay.
We have 4 seasons, and here you have 2 seasons.
I thought we have only 1 season here.
Well, you have rain and...
No, we have hot and hotter. All right, so how does it differ in terms of culture, belief systems, and life on the streets, besides the weather, besides the cold mountains?
Well, I would say that in Switzerland we are actually over-organized. When I go there, it is great. It is wonderful because really just about everything is working. There is a system for everything. And
there is everything working, and that's a big problem in Switzerland.
And it's actually a big, because you know, you have to follow rules. But when you're in the Philippines, while we wish we had more systems, it's also nice to be able to kind of do things the way you like to, and you know, beat the systems. But it definitely would help to, and it really has to have more systems, so it will be more efficient. Because in Switzerland we only have 8 million. Here you have 100.
So you're telling me today this is the first time I've ever heard of this fact, that something that is over-organized can be a problem.
Yeah, because you have no flexibility. You have to follow the rules.
So you grew up in that atmosphere.
Yes.
And how was it growing up? Did you ever think that there was a world outside that needed organization?
Not really. I mean, it's also good because, you know, we have insurance, we have systems, which is lacking here. You know.
Are there any poor in Switzerland?
Yes, there are.
Like what percentage? 0.1?
I don't know the percentage, but there are people, and who would not tell that they really have problems. Apparently there's quite, I don't know the percentage.
What do the poor in Switzerland look like? The rich in the Philippines?
You would not,
you can't tell the difference?
You cannot tell.
They're not on the streets begging or homeless?
You may have some because people, or young people who have drugs, but even that is under control. But no, you would not really see that. It's too cold.
It's too cold because they stay inside. Yeah, stay inside. All right, so now when you moved to the Philippines, what kind of changes did you have to make into your behavior, into your belief systems, and how you lived your life? What kind of changes did you have to adapt to?
I mean, the big change and the nice change is that you have help. But then I realized you also have to teach the help. You have to have patience. I always said for the first months, teach them, tell them how you want it. And they are very, very eager to learn because everybody has a different way of doing things. And they're all really very helpful. But I always try to tell the expats, please give yourself a month, stay with your new people, teach them, so that after that,
besides teaching the Filipinos, what changes do you have to make in your own belief systems and your own behavior? That this is my set of beliefs, this is my set of values, everything works for me. What changes did you have to make in your own mental structure?
Well, I guess become more flexible.
You have to become more flexible?
You have to become more flexible. You have to, yes, but otherwise, you know, go with the flow, really. I don't think that...
you had no hardships, nothing got you really mad about the traffic or something early?
Well, yeah, the traffic was much worse than it is now. But in the end, you do learn to adapt, be patient.
Fantastic,
yes.
fantastic. So, do you regard yourself as a Filipino now or a Swiss person? 30 years in this country?
I'm a global person.
You're a global person, okay. And your husband, he works for Zulik Corporation.
He worked for Zulik. Previously, he came here for Sharing Plow.
Sorry?
Sharing Plow,
okay,
pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
And then with that company, we went to Holland, which I really loved. It was 84. We came back for the revolution. We didn't start it.
What revolution?
86.
Oh, you didn't start it? I thought I saw you and Rainier on the streets of Ayala throwing yellow ribbon. But that wasn't you?
That wasn't us.
Okay, okay. So you came in here before the revolution.
We just returned from Holland, from 1 year in Holland, exactly. And then he joined Zulik Pharma in 85, end of 85.
What does he do for Zulik, and what difference does he create in the world of the Filipinos by being in Zulik? I know he's a good man.
Well, I mean, certainly being the president, or having been the president for 18 years for Zulik Pharma, they have something like 4,000 employees all over the country.
Yes, one of the biggest distributors of pharmaceuticals.
Distributors, and certainly he made sure that everybody was fairly treated. That is quite important. And now that he's retired, he is with Philippine Health Association, which is the other side, where the rules, the ethics committee is extremely important. He's working closely with DOH, DSWD, and with the government to be sure that rules are implemented again for the pharmaceutical industries.
Very good.
And really fairness is above all. It's really to be fair, treat everybody right, and you know, so that I think that's important.
Okay, Margaret, it's good to have met you. I'm going to talk to you about a few things about your life here. One, I want to find out, why are the Swiss so sensible and sensitive? You'll give me an answer after the break. We're coming to a break and we'll just watch a video. That's one question I need you to think about. Two, I know you're doing some work with the disabled in this country.
With people with disabilities, I must correct you.
People with disabilities, not the disabled.
No, they are not
disabled. Thank you for correcting me.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that before that. So, people challenged in physical capabilities. Is that the correct way to?
No, internationally, the correct way is, I was told too, is that people with disabilities, PWDs.
So they're not disabled, they just have some kind of challenges.
They have some sort of a disability.
Yeah, everyone has it.
I'm disabled. I have a little scoliosis, so I have a disability.
Me too. I don't see too well and I'm really hot-headed.
You see? So you have a disability.
So let's take that break and we'll come back and talk about these two things.
Okay.
The sensible Swiss and people with disabilities and what you're doing for them. So we'll watch a video and we'll take a break. Thank you for being on the show again. So come back to us and we'll be talking to Miss Margaret Gloor.
Step 1. Dress the part. Pretend you're a true traditional Swiss who can't wait to perform. Step 2. Fatten up. True yodelers have big bones and crying arteries to get through the cold Swiss winters.